If you're building a business for busy millennials, you'd better believe that involves video. Wait. Before we dive into the conversation with today's guest, welcome to The Real Finfluencers, a podcast born from our original video series spotlighting financial professionals who are using video to grow their business and their influence. Here's something you should know. Most of these guests aren't Idea Decanter clients. They've built their digital presence from the ground up, and they're here to share exactly how they did it. I'm your host, Laura Garfield, co-founder of Idea Decanter, and my goal is simple: help you discover strategies you can actually use, steal what works, get inspired, and find your own unique brand of finfluence. Now let's get into it. I'd like to welcome my guest, Ryan Canfield, founder and president of Victus Wealth Management. Ryan, you are prolific when it comes to video. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very excited to have this conversation today.
So with your target audience, why do you believe that video is a powerful tool?
I feel like over the years, I've been watching a lot of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and there's a lot of influencers on there that aren't licensed. They're giving absolutely terrible advice. And I realize that they're really focusing more on, that ad revenue. They want the eyes coming into the pages so that they can collect the check from YouTube or Instagram, even Facebook. And they would just go out and say things that, wasn't necessarily true. And at the time when I first started with video, there wasn't many advisors or licensed financial advisors on video. And I saw it as an opportunity for me to be able to actually give real life advice, using my expertise. I've been an advisor since 2012. And it was just an area that nobody was really doing the right thing for.
I had the opportunity to meet you, Ryan, at Future Proof, where I got to sit down and have a conversation about what you were doing. And I can tell you, out of all the conversations I had with advisors at that conference, and that conference was packed with like 5,000 people. It was serious. Out of all of those conversations, I remember you looking across the table and saying, "What can I do better?" And I was like, "Ryan, give me a break. Like, you're amazing." And you said that your conversations at Future Proof often turn to, "Hey, you've got this great YouTube channel. Tell me how to do it from other advisors." What do you think is working best for you on YouTube?
I think it's just being consistent. There are periods where I don't feel like doing a video. I don't know what to talk about. I just don't want to turn the camera on. But understanding that, just be consistent. Don't be a perfectionist. I know the content deep down inside. I know what I should be recording a video on because we're having conversations with clients every single day. And I've come up with a pretty good structure or system to turn their questions or my meetings into not just video content, but social media content in general. And I feel like that's just has led to some of the little success that I've had. But I also understand that it is a long game. And, it's what we tell our clients when we're investing money for them: compound. It's the same thing with videos. And you might not be able to pinpoint one exact video that says, "Hey, this video brought in a client." But I've found over the last couple months that I've had clients or prospects that have turned into clients because they've seen some of my videos or they've seen some of my YouTube shorts or my Instagram reels, and they can relate to a story that I told, or they like how I present a concept. But it wasn't just, "Hey, I watched your video on, 4 money leaks to plug." It was kind of like a little bit of everything that they've seen.
Yeah, because there's oftentimes a lot of touch points with a YouTube channel like this, with all the ways you're using video. They've probably seen you multiple times by the time they get to that first actual in-person conversation with you. But if you go to Ryan's YouTube channel, which the link is in the show notes, and click on, like, for example, one of these most recent videos you did was Buy Back Your Time. This is a master class in how to deliver great value to your target audience. I mean, there are tips wrapped in there. There is practical information. You have little story nuggets. You have it all packed into like a 7 and 8 minute formats with a thumbnail that makes people want to watch. I can't advise you strongly enough to subscribe to this channel because he's doing great stuff. But I do like to, when I look at someone's YouTube channel, look at some of their oldest videos. And your oldest videos are not that long ago.
No. This is, so it's funny. I wanted to start a YouTube channel back in 2016, 2017, when YouTube really wasn't that popular, especially there was no financial advisor on YouTube back then, or very few, I guess I should say. And, I had people telling me like, nobody's ever going to watch a YouTube video of a financial advisor and be like, that's the person I want to work with. Go focus on getting referrals, go focus on being out in the community. I didn't really agree with that, but I went and I stopped my YouTube channel. I actually had a podcast back then as well, and I stopped that as well and did exactly what, the senior advisors were telling me to do. And, in hindsight, it was 100% the worst advice that I've ever received, or some of the worst advice that I've received. But yeah, finally about a year and a half ago, I think, is when I really started to take YouTube seriously.
Well, I do think that it's important, and I get where that bad advice you got comes from, because a lot of people on YouTube are there strictly for entertainment. And I think people overlook the fact that people do go and use YouTube the same way they use Google, typing in their question. And if you can be there with an answer to that question, then you've had a first touch point with someone you never even had to go out and find. All you're doing is answering questions for your target market. And the other thing I think people overlook is that your website really is still your business card. And you then have taken all of these videos and built them into your website. So when a busy millennial hits your website, then they have this chance to do a deep dive. Have you found that happens? You're talking to a prospect and you realize, oh, they've seen some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the time. I actually, it was probably 3-4 weeks ago, had a conversation with somebody and we were talking about the one big beautiful bill and like what exactly it meant and stuff. And I was like, oh, I did a YouTube video on this. So I sent them the link to my website. They watched the video, and actually, like, I turn all of my videos into blog posts as well. So like, if you're on my website underneath resources and you're on the video page, if you click into a video, you can either watch the video that I embedded the YouTube video, or you can read the blog post. So it kind of like, if you don't have time to watch it, or if you're in public and you don't want to watch it, but you want to read what the video is about, you have the opportunity to do that. But by sending that video from my website to this prospect, it ended up having them download my ebook, which now they're in my, email newsletter drip campaign that I do every single month, actually twice a month. So now I'll just continue to drip on them, and eventually, hopefully they become a client.
So another advisor out there watching this thinking, wow, Ryan has his shit together. Like, this is tight. Like, this looks amazing. Like, give us a little bit of a lift the curtain. Tell us a little bit about your process for making this all happen.
Yeah. So I'm a perfectionist. Like, I tend to overthink everything, and, I won't execute something unless I'm like, hey, this is 100% fantastic, which was basically shooting myself in the foot, I found. So I've taken a step back And I said, let's simplify this, and I mentioned earlier, most of my content comes from conversations with clients or prospects or neighbors or friends or family. And I keep a running list in my phone of content ideas. And I utilize ChatGPT to help get me, I would say maybe 75, 80% of the way there. But I have a prompt and I have enough content out there that ChatGPT can almost speak like exactly like me. So whether it's, hey, I had this idea that here's the video that I want to shoot. I start with the title. Once I have the title, then the script's easy to come up with. And I have that format down packed where, I love storytelling, coming up with the hook and stuff, because that's almost, I would argue, saying the hook's almost the most important part of the video. Sometimes I use Jump AI to record my meetings. I'll take the transcripts from Jump AI, take out all of the personal information, drop that into ChatGPT and say, hey, here's my most recent client meeting that I had. Is there any parts of this that would make a great YouTube short or a long form video? And it'll spit out 3 or 4 different ideas. And there's maybe 2 video ideas out of that. And then it just becomes a matter, like, I'm in my YouTube area right now. This is my office. I have a teleprompter in front of me. And I've gotten so good at not necessarily reading a script, but having a script there to kind of be like my guardrails. And like, this camera is designated strictly for Zoom videos, YouTube, recording content. It doesn't move. And it just makes my life so much easier, because then I don't have to worry about setting up all the different type of equipment. I press record, I record the video, and then I can breathe. In the beginning, like, just focusing so much, like, I would stress out, what am I supposed to record today? Just being able to take client conversations and turn them into the stories. And it's so easy to do. Like, if you step outside the box and like view it from like a 30,000 foot view, it truly is easy. And I try to, like, I'm changing my strategy with my shorts. I'm trying to picture myself on a FaceTime call with a client. And I'm talking to that one client. I'm not talking to 1,000 people. And I feel like that's helping with my conversations, with my content, but just being consistent and not to overthink it.
So when we sat down together at Future Proof, you leaned across the table and you said, I feel like my videos aren't working as well as they used to. And part of it is the flood of content out there, right? A lot of people face on camera telling us something. As the audience and the algorithms are evolving to entertainment, like, especially the audience, like, what are you going to do that's going to maybe deliver some value, but also keep me watching? And it is harder to come up with that content. It is kind of next level when it comes to shooting it and cutting it. But that's sort of the realm you're moving into with your Instagram page, right? Tell me a little bit more about the idea.
Yeah. And again, like, stepping out of the comfort zone, like, right here, I'm comfortable. Like, I'm used to this. I have these wild ideas for some certain videos that are more entertaining, not so much a talking head video, but maybe I'm outside cutting my grass and I'm pushing the lawnmower and I shove the lawnmower and it just goes rolling maybe into the fence or something. And I turn to the camera and I say, nobody wants to be doing this, and like, I think that opening scene of me pushing the lawnmower might grab somebody's attention and be like, hey, like, wonder what this is about. I've talked to people that are like, get outside, get outside, get outside. I've recorded some videos walking, which I find a little uncomfortable because, I'm like, well, what if somebody drives by and I'm outside walking down the street with my phone up like this? It's awkward, but I've kind of got that mindset of, in today's day and age, if somebody, like, nobody's going to be like, hey, what's this guy doing? Like, look at this guy. I feel like so many people are recording vlogs and videos, especially the younger generation, that I just need to not worry about what other people think. I have this vision for my firm and for my practice, and I know that video is going to be probably the driving force for my business growth. It's been very evident over the last year or so that what I'm doing is working a little bit, and I'm starting to see that the rubber hit the road, I guess you could say. And I think those more entertaining videos are going to be the next step.
Well, Ryan, I can't wait to see where you take this. I can totally relate to you. I think that 5 years ago, if you were walking through an airport or walking down the street in your neighborhood or downtown and recording yourself, people might have stopped and looked, but we have entered an age where it's just not that uncommon. So get over it, get entertaining, do the things that are outside the box. And remember that if Ryan can do it, you can do it too. And if you need a little help building authority and growing your practice with video, that is what we do at Idea Decanter. Oh, one more thing. If you're not already part of Idea Decanter's Real Finfluencer community, now is your chance to join us. Head to ideadecanter.com/join, and you'll be in. You'll get early access to advisor video tips, invites to exclusive events, and behind-the-scenes insights that you won't find on Google or even on ChatGPT. Whether you're just video curious or already knee-deep in content creation, this is the place to grow your influence with video. Don't miss out. And thanks so much for listening to The Real Finfluencers.